locked in to the Sounds Like Fun podcast.
It don't matter underground or the mainstream. We taking over everything, American dreams. Make a move, long nights to the light beams. Urban Stone, we the motherfucking A-team. I go crazy on this track, man, I spit dope. You homies know I got a sick flow. Everything's trendy, y'all niggas really can't rap.
Yo, what's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of the Sounds Like Fun podcast. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. It is Monday, August the 13th, 10:23 a.m. Recording nice and early in the morning. Got my morning workout in, so I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm off on Mondays, so that's always a great thing. It's the reason I even have time to record this. But yeah, man. Of course, I'm back with another album review, but of course, got to get the plugs in. If you enjoy mixed martial arts, you can listen to my other podcast, the Dojo Talk podcast, which I host with my co-host, the Anti-Cool. And for those fight fans, I know we didn't have an episode this week because there's no UFC card, and I didn't get a chance to watch all of Rising, but, you know, we'll be back whenever the next UFC card comes around, so look out for that. So you can check that podcast out on Soundcloud and YouTube, as well as Google Play, and at the Dojo Talk Podcast Facebook page. And of course, as for this podcast, I know I said I wasn't going to post any more my episodes on the SoundCloud page, but I like to have people have options in terms of how they want to digest the content. So I guess for now, until further notice, I'll keep uploading the Sounds Like Fun podcast episodes to YouTube and SoundCloud, but I still do want it to mainly be a YouTube channel. So most of the time, if you see me post a link for Sounds Like Fun, I'm just going to post a YouTube link, but it'll also be on SoundCloud because, you know, some people like to use SoundCloud, some may prefer YouTube, you know, whatever. I want you guys to have some kind of options though, so Sounds Like Fun, at least until further notice, will be on YouTube and SoundCloud, but I will mainly just post the YouTube link and the SoundCloud one. You'll have to look on my Dojo Talk Facebook page. I mean, not Facebook page, my SoundCloud page, because that's where those episodes will appear. So, yeah. Before I get into my album review of the day, real quick, just to throw out some recommendations, let you guys know things I've been watching, kind of the same old on my anime tip. Just watched the latest episode of Attack on Titan, season 3. I think we're on episode 4 now. So that was a pretty dope episode. My Hero Academia, that last episode was heat. Really clutch teamwork at the end of that episode, man. This season for My Hero Academia has been just nothing but fire. I've been slowly keeping up. When I say keeping up, slowly watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is my first time actually watching it. So I am on season 2. I want to say like episode 6 or 7. So I'll probably watch a little bit more of that today. But I also went to the movies this weekend. Saw 2 movies. Well, one movie I watched at the theater. The other one I watched on Netflix. So I'll just throw these 2 movies out there real quick. The Netflix movie I watched was called Extinction. This stars Michael Pena, who you guys may know, who was also in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and Wasp. It's kind of a thriller sci-fi, I guess you would say. It's a pretty solid movie. It is a pretty interesting movie. I know Netflix movies can be a hit or a miss. I'm not saying this is a complete knock out the park, but, you know, if it's a Saturday night, Friday night, whatever night of the weekday, you don't got nothing else to do, throw this on, give it a watch. It's only about an hour and 30 plus minutes. The basis of the story, if you've seen the trailer, is Michael Pena's character Peter is just kind of having like these reoccurring dreams of like attacks on Earth and things like that, and then an alien invasion happens and that whole story unfolds. But what I like about the movie, which I won't spoil in detail because it's actually not alluded to in the trailer at all. There's a nice little twist plot-wise in this movie that I just think makes it pretty interesting. That was one of the main reasons that I enjoyed it. It was a nice like little take on kind of the whole alien invasion thing. But like I said, it's a decent movie. Sometimes I think the acting could have been better, but it was solid throughout. My main gripe is the two children of the film. Well, really one. Both were kind of annoying, but one was way more annoying than the other. I don't know what it is about children in movies and TV shows. They're always terrible. But like the kid in this one, man, she was killing my soul the entire movie. But no, it's a solid watch though, man. It's a solid watch. I think currently on IMDb it's at they have it at a 5.8 out of 10. I'd give it like a 6.5, maybe a solid 7. Like I said, it could have been better, but it wasn't terrible. So give that a look. I also went out and watched BlacKKKlansman on Sunday, caught a matinee showing because I'm all about matinee prices. And this was pretty dope, man. I really enjoyed this movie. I only watched it just pretty much based off the merit of other people because I didn't really watch. I think I seen like one trailer for this movie. I kind of didn't. I mean, I knew what it was going to be about, but I didn't like know what it was going to be about. I didn't even know that it was based loosely on a true story. I just almost walked into this pretty much blind. Just kind of saw it based off all the good things I heard about it, and it was definitely worth a watch. I really enjoyed John David Washington's character Ron Stallworth and Adam Driver, his character Flip Zimmerman. They were kind of the stars of the movie. I thought those two did really, really good jobs in this. It was a bit. There were moments in the movie that were a bit too much in terms of just kind of being like over the top. But there were also a lot of moments like the scene where Ron Stallworth is having his interview like to become a cop. Like that scene is hilarious. So there were a lot of good jokes to offset kind of some of the moments in this movie that were a bit over the top for me. But it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely a message within the movie, especially as how it relates to, things that are going on in this country right now. But yeah, BlacKKKlansman was dope, man. I think it's worth a watch. It's definitely worth a watch. I enjoyed it. I got some good laughs out of it. The ending is pretty heavy though. They definitely give you a nice, solid gut check right at the end of the movie. But yeah, man. So BlacKKKlansman and Extinction. If you haven't seen those movies, I think they're definitely worth a watch. But I will not ramble on for that forever because that is not what we came here for, or what you came here for. Really, I don't know why you're here, but that's not why I'm here, at least. So we're going to get into some music talk, man. The album that I'm going to be reviewing today, or technically on Soundcloud, they have it listed as an EP. I'm not sure what the runtime is, but a lot of these tracks are only about 2 minutes long, so I wouldn't be surprised if this album isn't even over 30 minutes. But the album in question is entitled The Originals, and the artist is named Tobe Nwigwe. I came across Tobe, I want to say on Facebook first. A couple of his videos, and I can't name any of the songs from the top of my head because I don't think any of them were from this project that I'm reviewing, but a lot of his videos were just kind of popping up on my feed. And I mean, that happens all the time. Like you get this, I don't know, viral rapper, whatever you want to call it, pops across the feed. I ignore 99% of them, but I gave him a listen. It was pretty dope. I can't remember the name of the song I heard, but it made me just want to at least give him a shot. And the more I looked into him, he actually has a pretty interesting story. Tobe was a star linebacker at the University of North Texas. At one point, he was top 5 in the nation in tackles, but his senior year, he suffered an injury. I'm not sure what the injury was, but the injury kind of just derailed his football career. So, obviously that unfortunately wasn't an option, going to the NFL anymore. So he runs a nonprofit organization. I don't even really know what the nonprofit is called, but he does nonprofit work. I want to say he does, I guess, like speaking engagements, and then somehow he hooked up with Eric Thomas, which if you listen to any motivational speakers, I'm pretty sure you know who E.T. is. Even if you don't know, if you hear his voice, you'll know who he is. But him and E.T. linked up, and I think Tobe is actually signed to E.T.'s record label, which is called ETA Records. He's the first artist signed under that label. And I guess they consider themselves what you would call edutainers. So they rap, they do like public speaking, education, entertainment, that whole thing. But the reason I bring that up is because it kind of makes sense when you listen to his music. You definitely get the feel that he is an edutainer, so to speak. But just a little bit on his backstory. So I'll actually leave a link in the description below. There's like a 6-minute video that kind of explains his story. So I'll leave that below so you guys can watch that. It is a pretty good clip, a pretty interesting story. So definitely give that a watch. But anywho, Tobe Nwigwe, the originals. Let's talk about this. So as far as production on this album, as far as what I was able to gather, bulk, almost 99% of the production on this album was produced by Linnell Grant. And the only other production credit I found was Tobe himself and Man with No Name. So they handled the production on this album. The beats on here were kind of like 50-50 for me, and the only reason I say that is it's not that they were bad, but the production to me was just kind of like, it was really stripped back. Like you might just get, like a kick, drum, hi-hat, couple synths, maybe some airy, something dark here and there, a couple bass lines, maybe a guitar or like an orchestral hit or something like that. But it's just, you'll know what I'm talking about when you listen to it. Like the beats aren't like super layered. There's never really like a lot going on at one time. They're kind of, it's enough instruments and enough going on, I guess, to like keep it somewhat interesting, but it's really kind of bare and stripped back at the same time, which in a way is a good thing because it kind of lets Tobe just kind of really take over the show and just kind of do his thing over the beats. But I guess as someone who just is a big fan of production, I think that would be like my only knock on this album. And like I said, it's not that the beats were bad, it's just not a ton going on. Like the beat is just kind of there almost. Like it's not, I don't really know how else to say it. Like it's not like you hear like a Just Blaze beat and like your head is just like you just nodding to it. You just vibing to it. Like these beats are they're just there to be in place, I guess. And I don't want to bash it because, like I said, the beats aren't bad. It's just they're just there. I guess if that's kind of the only way I can describe it. They're just there. They do enough to get done what needs to get done, but it's not overly flashy. It just kind of lays a foundation, I guess, and it kind of just lets Tobe, just kind of do his thing. So yeah, that's kind of all I got on production. As far as the mood, some of the beats are kind of chill. They're a little more, I don't want to say dark, because I don't think this is a dark album. I don't think that's the proper word to really describe it. But they're definitely like kind of like low key. At some points they kind of speed up, but like I said, it's real low key. It's kind of just stripped back. Some of the synths make things a little bit more interesting depending on if they're on the darker side or if they're kind of airy, a little spacier. But like I said, just not a ton really going on with production, but it lets Tobe just do his thing. And on Tobe's side, he definitely is a pretty capable lyricist. He definitely matches these beats sometimes because, like I said, a lot of the beats are kind of, they're more chill, they're more lit. It's not really a lot on this album that you're gonna, at least like instrumentation wise, that you're about to like get like super amped up to. Maybe a few tracks here and there, but overall I think it has a very chill kind of low key. Even if the track knocks a little bit, it's not like super amped up, but I think it does work well in that it complements Tobe, because Tobe at times, his flow is he has like this really calm, kind of measured, but it's also like a confident flow. So he can just kind of like, kind of breezes in on the beat. Like he just kind of slides in and just does his thing. He's not trying to do too much. But I do like that. Like at some points his flow is like it's like this lazy, and I don't even mean lazy in a bad way. It's this real like chill kind of lazy but still confident and like braggadocious flow. But at times he does switch it up to the double time. At times he does switch it up and he can get a bit more energetic. So I think in that way the production helps. Like he at least, the production complements what he can do. So I think in that sense the production works on this album. Topic wise, like I said, you definitely get the idea that if you know his background and you know like his story and history, like with Eric Thomas, I think knowing that makes a lot of the content of this album just make a lot of sense. Topic wise, he does touch on a variety of things. A lot of, well, not a lot of it, but like I said, he definitely has kind of this humble, braggadocious like rap style at times. Like he's not overly beating you over the head, but he's kind of letting you know, like, I'm a humble dude, but low key, if it comes down to it, you can still get the business. Like, I can still wreck anybody. So I definitely like that about his flow, about his delivery. Like I said, at times it's calm and it's humble, but it's still like, I got you. Like it's one of those. So I definitely like his flow and his delivery. Like I said, but with topic wise, aside from just like the kind of humble, braggadocious raps, he definitely is a bit of, or it comes across as kind of like a motivator, somebody who's trying to just kind of uplift, make things better, for like his community, for the people that he grew up around. He's trying to like just inspire people to do better and aspire to more. He also makes a few comments about, coonery and the rap industry. He goes into his personal life, about, I believe that's his wife. Her name is Fat. He goes a lot into about her and how their relationship is and how like great she's been to him. He goes into his upbringing in terms of, growing up in poverty, having to overcome that, just the things he's witnessed, coming up in Houston. If I didn't mention before, he is from, I want to say the town's called Alief, Texas. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I think it's an area of Houston. So definitely get a couple of Houston references and slang throughout this album. But yeah, so he kind of just, it's reality rap. But not in a I'm struggling, I'm dying, somebody help me way. It's almost like reality rap, but like I'm getting through this. I'm praying a lot about this, and that's kind of another theme. He definitely leaves his faith out on his sleeve. He talks a lot about God on this album, about praying and that whole thing. So he definitely ties his religion pretty heavy into it. That's a theme. A lot of the lines, even some of the punch lines, are like biblical, or have like some kind of biblical reference. So that's kind of littered all throughout this album. But it's a good content. I think it's a good mix of. I think the humble, kind of like the humble brag raps, kind of keep it from being like preachy, because I think that's the. I think even as somebody as myself who enjoys like content with meaning, I think that's the one thing that can be a turnoff even for me, and I know that would be a turnoff for other people. It's like it's cool to have a positive message and all that, but what you don't want to come across is just like you're just preaching to people, and you're just like you have like this holier than thou like kind of attitude. And I think he does a good job of walking of walking that line, because at the same token, as much as he'll talk about praying and trying to do the right thing, so on and so forth, he's also not ashamed to put his flaws out there about the things he was doing, or whatever he got caught up in, and things like that. So I think he walks that line pretty well. So I don't know. Some people may find it not a lot, because like I said, I think he walks the line pretty well. You might find a few lines here and there, maybe to you personally, that might make it sound a bit preachy. But to me, I like it because, like I said, he's still just a good rapper. Like, he has good wordplay. His lyricism is good. So anything that might come across preachy, I'll give it a pass for, because dude can, like, he can spit. Like, he can go. So I think that just works well for him throughout this album. It's a really, I want to say this is a pretty quick listen. It's 13 tracks, but like I said, a lot of these songs are they're pretty straightforward. Most of them between 2 minutes, 2:30. You might have a couple 3 minutes. A couple of these are only like 1 minute and something long. A lot of it's not really like a hook heavy album. It's a lot of rapping. It's a lot of rapping. You get a couple of melodic, bridges here and there, but like I said, it's not like a super hook heavy album. It's a lot of bars. It's a lot of bars going on, mixed with, like I said, a little bit of harmonies here and there. But he's definitely just kind of working the pen game throughout this album. So I think that's pretty dope. It kind of makes it an easy listening experience. It goes by really quick. So I think this is an album that you can, you can get in and get out really quick without feeling like it's dragging on for a long time. Some of my favorite tracks personally on this album, I like the opening track, Murder, which, God, I don't know why I don't know that sample off the top of my head. But when you hear the sample, you'll know exactly what song I'm talking about, because it's been sampled 80,000 times. But it's a great opener to the album, I think. A track that definitely kind of shows what he's about. It shows like his lyrical skill, as well as his content. I actually like exactly how the first like couple opening bars of the track, where he says, "If you're talking about appropriation, the whole nation guilty by association. This whole system needs exfoliation. You keep commandments, but you devilish, so you really holy Satan. How you Muslim, but you roll with bacon." So that kind of just gives you an idea of what he raps about. So I really like that opening line. That second verse on that track was pretty mean too. So Murder is definitely a favorite, because it was just a great way to open the album up. Another favorite track off here probably would be Sway. One of the darker beats on this album. I just kind of like how just aggressive his flow was, because like I said, there are some times on here where his flow is really it's really chill. It's kind of like laid back, but on this one he upped it a bit more. He had a bit more energy. It was just a bit more aggressive, so I really just enjoyed that. And like I said, he has bars. Dude can, when he gets in the pocket, he can go. So that was a really dope track. Reality is another favorite, and I think that's the closing track on here. He goes into detail just about growing up in poverty, having to overcome that. But like I said, also just a lot of just dope lines on that track. I like the line. I think this was closer to the end. I grind to my mama out here, drop top cooping, thought choosing, block hot, crock pot brewing, touch fat, I'll cock back and have your top suit whooping bloody. And Fat, once again, is his wife. But yeah, that was a dope line. Man, God, what other tracks? I know I had something else written down. Jockin' was another good track on here. Chill was another dope track on here. There are a lot of good tracks. The blues was pretty dope. And like I said, a lot of this album, it flows really well together. I think it's because the tracks are so short. So he'll just bar, maybe something melodic here and there, and it'll just flow right into the next one. And the whole album just kind of goes. So yeah, man, I don't have a ton to really go in further. It's just a dope album. Like I said, the lyrics are confident, somewhat uplifting. Like I said, he definitely just sounds like someone who's trying to do better, and he wants people around him to do better, and things like that. So, like I said, it fits into that, edutainment that I guess he's trying to do. It kind of sounds like if a motivational speaker rapped, like I could definitely see like this is what it would sound like, but it's not like in a corny way, because he actually has bars, like he actually can spit. So it's just not some guy who's just randomly just preaching to you. Like he can definitely bar you up. If you want to see more what he can do, I think he did a freestyle with Sway on his show, which was pretty dope. I want to say that I think that freestyle was actually one of the lines or one of the verses from one of these songs. It might have been Sway. I can't remember, but one of the freestyles he did was definitely a verse from one of these songs on this EP. But I mean, either way, it was still dope. Either way, like I said, dude has this really just kind of quiet confidence about him. It's really dope. It carries across well on this album. Like I said, my only knock would be, like I said, the production, because there wasn't a ton production wise that was going on, and I think some of the tracks sounded a bit samey, like they had like the same formula, I guess, production wise. But like I said, it wasn't bad, but I just wish it could have been built upon a bit more. But other than that, I mean, Tobe got in his pocket over these beats, and like I said, whether he was on the slow, laid back flow, or he was ripping it double time, speeding it up, or anything in between, he made it work. He had bars, he had consistency, he had everything you would want an MC to have. So like I said, it's a pretty dope album. I will leave a link to the description below. You can listen to the entire thing on Soundcloud. As I said before, it's only 13 tracks, and most of the tracks aren't even, not a lot of them are even like 300. God, I can't not talk. A lot of them are not even like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You got a lot of just 2 minutes, couple 1 minutes, maybe a 3 minute here and there. But like I said, you can put this on, you can get in, you can get out. So it kind of makes the replay value go higher, because it goes by so quick. So you don't feel like you're dragging. You don't feel like time is dragging while you're listening to it. So you can just get in, get out, and come back to it as often as you like. But like I said, I don't want to keep these episodes too long, because I don't want to have you guys in here forever. So like I said, the name of the album is The Originals. The artist is Tobe Nwigwe. Definitely give this a listen. I will leave links in the description below to the album, so you can check it out. I will also leave a link to the video that just kind of like a 6-minute video that just goes over his story, how he got into rap, his hookup with Eric Thomas, his times at University of North Texas, all that good stuff. So you can just understand his story, which I think will help you understand his music a bit better. But definitely somebody to keep an eye on. And I think he has a couple of other projects out that I have not listened to. So, if you like this album, The Originals, go give some of his other tracks a listen. And if you're on Facebook and you happen to see one of his songs float by, click on it. He's not bad. He's got something good going on. So definitely somebody worth keeping an eye on. But that's all I got for you guys today. I'm your host, Serial Sensei. It has been another episode of the Sounds Like Fun podcast, and I will catch you guys next time.